Good day, class. This is our 8th week of our lesson for our subject Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business and Management 1. This week we will discuss about the ledger posting and the trial balance. First, let us recall our lesson last week. So yung tinalakay natin last week is about service business. Ano nga ba ang service business? It is a commercial enterprise that provides work performed in an expert manner by an individual or team for the benefit of its customers. In short, ang kanilang pinakaprodukto ay ang kanilang serbisyo. They don't have the physical product and usually, examples to yung mga barber shop, mga vulcanizing shop, yung mga accounting firm, yung mga law firm, laundry shop, at marami pang iba. And then, last week, we have also discussed the first two phases of the accounting cycle, or the two steps, namely the transactions and the journal entries. And today, we will discuss about the third and fourth step in the accounting cycle, which are the posting and the preparation of trial balance. So let's begin. What is posting? Posting refers to the process of transferring entries in the journal into the accounts in the ledger. Posting to the ledger is the classifying phase of accounting. Classifying. Parang they sort out, kinaklasify nila ano ang para sa specific ng assets, ano ang para sa specific ng liabilities, at gayon din sa specific ng equity. An accounting ledger refers to a book that consists of all accounts used by the company, the debits and credits under each account, and the resulting balances. While the journal is referred to as the books of original entry, the ledger is known as the books of final entry. Let us illustrate how accounting ledgers and the posting process work using the following transactions. We will give some examples of business transactions, and then we will post them into the journal and then to the ledger. So for example, itong transaction number 1. On December 1, 2019, Mr. Donald Gray started Gray Electronic Repair Services by investing $10,000. The journal entry should increase the company's cash and increase the capital account of Mr. Gray. Therefore, yung entry natin dito sa transaction na ito is, don't forget the date, which is December 1. Ang debit natin ay cash, 10,000. Ang credit natin ay Mr. Gray Capital, 10,000. Ito yung nag-establish siya ng kanyang business at naglagak ng investment na 10,000 pesos sa kanyang negosyo. Now, go to the ledger and find the accounts. Post the amounts debited and credited to the appropriate side. Debits go to the left and credits to the right. Sa T account na ito, ang nasa ibabaw niya yung account title. Pagkatapos, yung left side niya, it represents the debit side. Yung right side naman niya, it represents the credit side. So, dito sa example na ito, ang entry natin ay debit cash, kung kaya't itong 10,000 ay nasa left side ng cash. And this type of ledger presentation is called the T account. So, letter T kasi ang kanyang itsura. So, left side, debit, tapos yung right side niya is credit. Pagdating naman sa account title ng Mr. Gray Capital, since the journal entry credit siya, ilalagay natin yung 10,000 na amount sa right side. 2% na nasa credit side siya. At take note guys, bawat isang account title ay isang T account. So transaction number 2 on December 5, Gray Electronic Repair Service paid registration and licensing fees for the business. Ang amount niya ay 370. Journal entry, debit is taxes and licenses 370, credit cash 370 pesos. Journal entries na yan ay dito inumit na natin yung explanation, but in actual talagang may explanation dapat siya. At ang date ito ay December 5. Para naman sa ledger, yung T account, cash, again, ang account title, at ang cash dito ay nasa credit side. Dito sa particular ng transaction ito. Therefore, yung 370 ay ilalagay natin sa right side. Tapos, ang taxes and licenses ay debit. So, ilagay natin sa debit side or sa left side yung 370 pesos. So, notice, yung cash natin ay dalawa na yung entry niya, no? Meron ng 10,000 sa left side at meron ng 370 sa right side. Transaction number 3 on December 6, the company acquired tables, chairs, shelves, and other fixtures for a total of 3,000. The entire amount was paid in cash. There is an increase in the asset account, yung furniture and fixtures, in exchange for a decrease in another asset, which is yung cash. So, debit natin dito, furniture and fixtures, 3,000, credit, cash, 3,000. Sa ledger, yung cash ay nadagdagan na naman ng 3,000 sa right side dahil siya ay credit. And then, yung furniture and fixtures na account title, 3,000 sa debit. Transaction number 4. On December 7, the company acquired service equipment for 16,000. The company paid a 50% down payment and the balance will be paid after 60 days. This will result in a compound journal entry. There is an increase in an asset account, yung service equipment, tapos decrease in another asset, which is yung cash, at increase in a liability account, which is accounts payable na 8,000 pesos. Therefore, pinapakita rito ang compound entry. So, debit, service equipment, credit, cash, tsaka yung accounts payable. Take note na dapat balance ang figure nila, debit and credit. I-post natin ngayon sa ledger. Yung service equipment, gagawan pa rin natin siya ng panibagong T account na 16,000 pesos. And then yung cash, meron na existing, ilagay na lang natin siya sa credit yung 8,000. Then accounts payable, meron siyang sariling T account pa rin. At this time nga, siya ay merong entry na 8,000 sa credit. Kaya yung 8,000 na ilalagay natin sa right side. Transaction number 5, also on December 7, Gray Electronic Repair Services purchased service supplies on account amounting to 1,500. So the company received supplies, thus we will record a debit to increase in supplies. Yung service supplies na 1,500. And then, by the terms on account, it means that the amount has not yet been paid. Ibig sabihin, utang siya. And so, it is recorded as liability of the company. Kung kaya, ang credit natin dito ay accounts payable 1,500. So, gawan ulit natin ang T account, service supplies, 1,500. Tapos yung accounts payable, dalawa na. Pangalawa na itong 1,500 pesos. Transaction number 6, on December 9, the company received 1,900 for services rendered. We will then record an increase in cash, debit the cash account, and increase in income, credit the income account. So, nag-perform sila ng kanilang services at binayaran agad sila ng 1,900. So, debit si cash, credit natin si service revenue 1,900. T account, ilalagay natin si 10,000 sa left side dahil siya ay debit. Si service revenue naman, normal balance niya talaga ay credit side at in this transaction, siya ay nasa credit, ilagay natin siya sa right side, yung 1,900. Transaction number 7 on December 12, the company rendered services on account. Utang, 4,250. As per agreement with the customer, the amount is to be collected after 10 days. Under the accrual basis of accounting, income is recorded when earned. Diba? Yun yung sa ating principles. Accrual basis. In this transaction, the services have been fully rendered. Ibig sabihin, we made an income, we just haven't collected it yet. Diba? I-record na natin siya as income kahit hindi pa nababayaran. Hence, we record the increase in income and an increase in a receivable account. Therefore, debit natin si accounts receivable 4,250, credit natin si service revenue 4,250. So, ganun pa rin, mag-set up tayo ng T-account para sa accounts receivable at ilagay siya sa debit, yung 4,250. Si service revenue naman, dagdag yung 4,250 sa credit side. Transaction number 8, on December 14, Mr. Gray invested an additional 3,200 into the business. The entry would be similar to what we did in transaction number 1, which is increase in cash and increase in the capital account of the owner. So, debit natin dito cash 3,200 and credit Mr. Gray capital 3,200. Sa T account natin, nadagdagan tayo ng 3,200. So, it must be recorded sa left side. Sa capital naman, nadagdagan tayo ng 3,200. Ilagay natin siya sa credit side. Transaction number 9, rendered services to a big corporation on December 15. As per agreement, the 3,400 amount due will be collected after 30 days. Therefore, ano ang entry dito? Debit is accounts receivable 3,400. Tapos, ang credit dito, hindi na nakita, ay service revenue na 3,400. Dalawa na ang figure natin sa T account ng accounts receivable. Nadagdag si debit 3,400. Sa service revenue naman, nadagdagan ng 3,400. Transaction number 10 on December 22, the company collected from the customer in transaction number 7. We will record an increase in cash by debiting it. Then, we will credit accounts receivable to decrease it. We are reducing the receivable since it has already been collected. So, nakakolect na tayo na 4,250 mula dun sa transaction number 7. Therefore, i-record natin si cash, debit, 4,250. I-credit natin ngayon si accounts receivable na 4,250. Ang ibig sabihin, pag kinredit natin si accounts receivable na isang asset account title, ibig sabihin, nabawasan na ng particular asset account which is accounts receivable. In other words, yung collectibles natin mula sa ating customer ay nabawasan na. Yan ang ibig sabihin pag credit natin si accounts receivable. Transaction number 11, on December 23, the company paid some of its liability in transaction number 5 by issuing a check. The company paid 500 of the 1,500 payable. To record this transaction, we will debit accounts payable for 500 to decrease it by the said amount. Then, we will credit cash to decrease it as a result of the payment. So, entry natin, debit accounts payable, credit cash na take 500 pesos. Dinebit natin si accounts payable, siya ay liability at ang liability kapag nababawasan, idine-debit natin. Dinebit natin si accounts payable para ipakita na nabawasan siya ng pagkakautang ng 500 pesos. At credit natin si cash kasi nga nagbayad tayo. So, nabawasan tayo ng cash. Transaction number 12, on December 25, the owner withdrew cash due to an emergency need. Mr. Gray withdrew 7,000 from the company. We will decrease cash since the company paid Mr. Gray 7,000 and we will record withdrawals by debiting the withdrawal account. So, yung Mr. Gray drawings, yun yung account title na gagamitin. Sa transaction na ito, dinebit natin si Mr. Gray drawings na 7,000 pesos. Hindi natin ginamit si Mr. Gray capital because ang pinaka-idea dito ay ano ba ang makakapagpabawas sa capital, kundi ang withdrawal. So, kapag nag-invest ka ng iyong pera sa iyong business, ikine-credit natin lagi si capital. At kapag nag-withdraw ka naman, hindi si capital ang i-debit natin, kundi ay ang withdrawal or hindi sa particular account title, Mr. Gray Drawings, 7,000. Ibig sabihin, nabawasan yung kanyang capital. And then, credit natin si cash, 7,000, kasi nga naglabas ng pera si kumpanya o si business, nabawasan siya ng 7,000. So, sa T account, gagawa natin ng T account si Mr. Gray Drawings. Tapos si cash ay nadagdagan sa credit side ng 7,000 pesos. Transaction number 13, on December 29, the company paid rent for December, 1,500. Again, we will record expense by debiting it and decrease cash by crediting it. So, ang journal entry natin dito, pagka mga expense, lagi yang debit. So, rent, expense, debit siya ng 1,500, credit cash, 1,500. Ang account title na rent expense, gagawan ulit natin ng T account. At since debit siya, yung 1,500 ay nasa left side. And then si cash na naman, nabawasan tayo ng 1,500, ilagay natin sa right side. Transaction number 14, on December 30, the company acquired a 12,000 short-term bank loan. The entire amount plus a 10% interest is payable after 1 year. Ang nature ng transaction ay short-term bank loan. Pag short-term, within a year lang. Again, the company received cash, so we increase it by debiting cash na 12,000. And then, ang credit natin dito ay loans payable kasi nadagdagan tayo ng liability or pagkakautang. So, credit loans payable 12,000. Yung loans payable, gagawa natin ng T account and then yung 12,000 ay ilalagay natin sa debit side ng cash T account. December 31, hindi naka-narrate ang transaction. Pero by looking at the journal entry, salaries expense, debit na 3,500 and then credit cash 3,500, I'm sure alam nyo kung anong transaction ang nangyari dito. Ano nga ba ang transaction dito? Since ang debit ay salaries expense, ang word o term ay salary, syempre, ibig sabihin, nagbayad tayo ng pasweldo. At since ang expense ay debit, ilagay natin siya sa debit side. At yung salaries expense na yun, gagawa natin ulit ng T account. Si cash, nadagdagan na naman ng 3,500 sa credit. General ledger. Yung general ledger na pinag-usapan natin dati, it contains accounts that are broad in nature, such as cash, accounts receivable, supplies, and so on. There is another type of ledger which is a subsidiary ledger. It consists of accounts within accounts, specific accounts that make up a broad account. So kung sa general ledger, meron tayong broad account title na accounts receivable, sa subsidiary ledger, yung accounts receivable na yan ay i-specify natin kung sino-sino yung mga customers na kabilang dyan o yung mga customer na may utang sa atin. In this case, halimbawa, customer A, tapos accounts receivable customer B, tapos accounts receivable customer C. So, yan yung mga subsidiary ledger. Yung total ng balance niyan ay ang makikita natin sa general ledger. Let's go back to the general ledger. In the above discussion, we posted transactions 1 to 15 into the ledger. The following are the balances of each account at the end of the month. The ledger would look like this. At tandaan nyo guys, naka-grupo pa rin sila according to the major accounts like assets, liabilities, and capital. So ito na yung summary ng lahat-lahat ng transactions natin kanina from 1 to 15 transactions. So, tingnan natin itong cash. Total ng debit, tapos total ng credit. By looking at these figures, yung positioning ng 7,480, ibig sabihin ito, mas malaki ang total ni debit kesa sa total credit. At ang ginawa dito ay minus or ibinawas si credit mula kay debit. Kung kaya't ang debit balance ay 7,480. Ulitin natin, no? Yung total ng debit minus the total ng credit is equals to 7,480 at ilalagay natin siya sa debit side para ipakita na siya ay debit balance. And normally, dino-double rule namin. No? 7,480 tapos double rule. Dalawang guhit sa ibaba. Accounts receivable, ganun din. Debit balance yan at 3,400. Service supplies, 1,500. Furniture and fixtures, 3,000. Service equipment, 16,000. Puro nasa debit balance sila. At tandaan nyo, ang mga ito ay normally debit ang balance nila. So kapag nasa credit ang kanilang normal balance or tinatawag na natin yung abnormal. Liabilities, accounts payable at saka yung loans payable ang nag-transpired doon sa mga transactions na binasa natin. Ang 9,000 dito ay credit balance kasi 8,000 plus 1,500 tas i-minus natin si 500 kaya merong 9,000 na credit balance. Si loans payable, isa lang naman yung transaction, 12,000 kaya 12,000 yung kanyang credit balance. And then yung under ng equity, yung capital, yung 13,200, yung total ng nilagak niya sa business niya. And then si Mr. Gray ay nag-withdraw ng 7,000. Service revenue, ganun din. Ito ay normally nasa credit balance. So, 9,550. Ang rent expense naman ay normally sila ay mga debit balances. Kaya, yung rent expense ay 1,500, salaries expense 3,500, tapos taxes and licenses 370. After posting all the entries in the general ledger, this will be followed by the next step in the accounting cycle, which is the preparation of the unadjusted trial balance. So what is a trial balance? A trial balance is a bookkeeping worksheet in which the balance of all ledgers are compiled into debit and credit account columns and the totals should be equal. A company prepares a trial balance periodically, usually at the end of every reporting period. The general purpose of producing a trial balance is to ensure the entries in the company's bookkeeping system are mathematically correct. The unadjusted trial balance is the listing of general ledger account balances at the end of the reporting period before any adjusting entries are made to the balances to create financial statements. The unadjusted trial balance is used as the starting point for analyzing account balances and making adjusting entries. So, tingnan natin ang itsura ng trial balance. This is an example of the unadjusted trial balance by Matapang Computers Repairs Unadjusted Trial Balance dated February 29, 2016. Example lang ito. So, may heading pa rin siya, Matapang Computer Repairs. Tapos, pangalan ng pinaka-worksheet niya. Tapos, yung date. Yung last day of the month as of February 29, 2016. So, tingnan nyo, account title, ang columns, tapos debit, tapos credit. Pansinin nyo pa rin ang pagkakagrupo doon sa account title, no? Balance sheet accounts at saka income statement accounts. Under balance sheet, yung cash, receivable, office equipment, payable, capital. Sunod-sunod pa rin siya according to doon sa chart of accounts, di ba? Yung pagkakasunod-sunod niya according pa rin doon sa rule, which is yung asset muna, tapos yung liabilities, and then yung equity. Sa income statement accounts naman, nauuna lagi yung revenue followed by the expenses. So, yung debit at credit, dapat yung total niyan, 230 dapat pareho. Hindi natin masasabi na ang trial balance ay balance kung hindi nga balance yung kaniyang debit at credit. Kapag hindi balance yan, matatrace nyo rin agad kasi nga ang ginagawa natin sa journal entry ay debit at credit. So, madali siyang i-trace dyan pa lang kung saan ka nagkamali. Using the following balances in General Ledger of Gray Electronic Repair Services, we can create the unadjusted trial balance below. So, ito na yung transaction natin, no? Yung cash, debit balance niya is 7,480. So, tingnan natin siya sa trial balance. Yung cash dito ay 7,480. Balik tayo. Yung accounts receivable ay 3,400 ang kanyang debit balance. Therefore, 3,400 ang ilalagay natin dito. So, tandaan nyo guys, itong mga nakikita nyo figure dito ay mga balances na lang yan. In preparing the unadjusted trial balance, you will just copy the ending balances from the general ledger. All the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Do not forget to consider the normal balances of each account. As you can see, cash turned out to have an ending balance of 7,480. And followed by yung iba pang mga account titles na ang nilagay natin ay yung mga balances na lang nila. Like this, service supplies, furniture, accounts payable, loan payable, yan. Mga balances na lang yan. These rules and considerations are all applicable to all the accounts. For now, dyan na muna tayo magtatapos ng ating lesson. What we have discussed today are about the posting to General Ledger and the preparation of the trial balance. So, for our questions of the week, number 1, how do you present the different accounts in the trial balance? Letter A, assets, liabilities, capital, income, and expenses. Letter B, assets, liabilities, capital, expenses, income. Letter C, assets, liabilities, income, expenses, capital. Letter D, assets, liabilities, expenses, income, and capital. Number 2, what side of the trial balance can you find expenses and income accounts? Letter A, expenses, debit, income, debit. Letter B, expenses, credit, income debit. Letter C, expenses debit, income credit. Letter D, expenses credit and income credit. Comment your answers in the comment section. So that's it for this week. See you again next week for our new lesson. Have a nice day.